Who would have thought that Newport would go and score two goals against us? But hey, it's Man United. It's how we've been all season. Surprises at every game that we watch. But we won the game 4-2 and deservedly so. But we were not convincing. In my opinion, we were quite embarrassing at that because how did we let a League Two team score two goals against us? And the way they scored those goals, it's typical of the way we have conceded. The first goal that they scored, yeah, okay, it's a bit of luck, deflected off Martinez's head, a bit of a hit and hope, nothing Altai could do. But that second goal, that cross that they came in from the left hand side, and again, nothing Altai could do about that. And I think he had a good game. I would start him against Wolves, in my opinion. I don't think he did himself a bad service. I think he showed himself and showed that he can be Man United's number one. But in all fairness, the low should have stopped that cross. If you watch the goal back closely, you will see that he just stands in no man's land. He was too narrow when we were transitioning in defense and should have been there to stop the cross or at least close the man down. And he found himself literally in no man's land, and the ball simply bypasses him and it gets tapped in by Evans, who I did say is the informed player with 15 goals, 16 after that one. But we started the game quite well. We should have been in the lead by three or four, maybe even five. But our wingers are so selfish. Garnacho and Anthony constantly cutting inside and wanting to shoot. No crossing of the ball. No trying to find Hoyland or even Bruno who were making runs in the box. And Hoyland had to fight for himself and score his own goal late in the game. And a good goal at that. A bit of fighting and aggressiveness, which we know comes with him. But he showed his frustration in his celebration because of his teammates not crossing him the ball. There were moments when he screamed at Garnacho for not crossing the ball because of the good runs that he made. We let Newport in the game after we took our foot off the gas after being 2-0 ahead. We should have been ahead by more, but our players were selfish. Bruno, after the game, made mention of that and said that the players started playing for themselves, and that is not good. Greed is okay, but not when it is the team suffering because of it. When Newport got back into the game, I certainly did not find ourselves thinking we were going to win. It looked quite disappointing once again, and I thought that we were going to lose the game because they had the momentum, the crowd was behind them, and we started to look very shaky. And the likes of Martinez, Casemiro, and Shaw, just getting back to match fitness, that was not what they wanted to have in terms of their game. Trying to defend, run a basketball game, the ball is constantly in the air, high intensity. No. When we were 2-0 ahead, we were cruising, dominating possession. But we let them back in the game because of selfish play. I keep going back to that because it is a bother. Why is our wingers and Bruno, I might add, not playing the ball to Hoyland, who's making the runs, who's our striker and meant to score goals? That needs to change. Ten Hag definitely has to address this on the training pitch today, tomorrow, definitely before that game against Wolves, because we cannot have selfish play when we are needing results and goals. But we are through to the next round, and we either play Nottingham Forest or Bristol Rovers. My opinion, I'd want Nottingham Forest simply because they are a Premier League team, but they would have Premier League to focus on. Another lower division team in Bristol Rovers might be another test for us. And as you see, against lower teams, if we don't turn up, we can look at losing. So you'd probably want a team that's a bit more disciplined so that we can play your game a bit more. And yes, I know we lost away to Nottingham Forest in our last game there, but that doesn't mean that we cannot go there and win. Ten Hag made certain decisions in that game that did make us go and lose it. It cannot be done again. But we'll see who we get in the next round. And there's something else that I want to speak about. Let's talk quickly about Marcus Rashford. So Ten Hag was asked after the game whether he's ill and where he might be with regards to returning to the squad. And Ten Hag simply said, I will deal with it, and it is an internal matter, which is good. Keeping it in-house, not having external influences influence a decision that the club might make on him. In my opinion, he should be suspended for the game against Wolves, just like he was dropped for the game against Newport. We cannot go around having players that disrespect the club, that show a lack of professionalism. If you have your day off, I don't care what you do on your day off, but you better report for training the next day. That's a fact. That is just absolutely simple. It's like going to work on a Monday. If you've had a crazy weekend and you have to report for work on Monday morning, you've got to go. Bar some sort of emergency. But you can't say that you are ill or you're not well, but it's simply because you had a night out and everybody knows that you did. So it's been reported by Samuel Lockers that he would be fined a 2 weeks' wages, which is about 650,000 something, which I think is not really going to do anything to change his attitude. There needs to be some form of consequence, a form of suspension, a form of discipline being put at Rashford so that a message can be sent. And if he doesn't pull up his socks and start performing well for the rest of the season after this incident and after this is resolved, then we need to look to be moving him on in salary, because I'm tired of having players that don't have the mentality to be a Man United player or the mental strength to perform at an elite level, which is what we need if we want to start competing for trophies as expected of Manchester United. I'm quite intrigued to see what is going to unravel with this Rashford situation. But we're through to the FA Cup, and we definitely will find ourselves in a good position to move on to the next round with the opposition that we get.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.